good YouTube? Quinway coming to y'all with some basketball analysis on analysisplayground.com and on YouTube. We're going to talk about what to expect from the Chicago Bulls, the return of Lonzo Ball. He hasn't played in a couple years because of a knee injury. He went through a whole lot, and it looked like it was career ending or career threatening sometimes based off the reports, but he was able to heal. He was able to rest. He was able to take his time. He's still 26 years old, so he still has a chance to grow and develop into the player that we thought that he can be or that he wants to be. And you gotta look at it just good to see that he didn't have anything crazy happen to his knee besides having a lot of pain and a lot of swelling. And I think that it's crazy that he went through that, but I still think that he can still be a starting player. I still think he can be a great defender, for a couple more years until he get too old. And then the injury, will it have a permanent effect where he can't play a certain amount of games? I hope that it doesn't get re-injured or re-aggravated. He seems like he's healthy. He seems like he can play. He's playing 5-on-5. It seems like he's more confident too, because he's eager to play. So he seems like he wants to prove a point. Hopefully, everything goes smooth sailing for Lonzo because the NBA needed a player like that on the Bulls. They wanted him because of his ability to run the offense and run transition and being able to make teammates around him happier and better because he sets them up for so much easy opportunities, and it's just a fun player to watch because of the passes that he can deliver. And it's just unfortunate that it took him that long to, recover and get healthy. But when you look at Bidham and you look at Marcus and you look at Taylor Horton Tucker, EJ Liddell, Kenny Lofton, Aldama, and you look at DJ Stewart, they have a lot of guys on this roster that's not really guaranteed to make it, that they're intrigued by and they're interested in seeing what they can do on this roster because they have so much spots for guys to try out on for this roster because they're looking for more talent. They're looking for more people that can possibly be difference makers on this roster. Obviously, they're not going to get that much playing time. They're not going to get that many minutes. But at least you know that the Bulls are still looking at some players and still trying to add as much talent as they can and hopefully develop some of these guys into some rotation player slots. And I think that that's going to be one of the main things they're going to do the next 2 to 3 years. Either they're drafting the next big thing or they're going to have to continue to develop the guys that they have and build some chemistry and try to become a playoff team again, even though they won't be a championship contender. Either you're good enough to tank or you're good enough to make the playoffs, or you're bad enough to where you in a playing tournament type of conversation. I think the Bulls are good enough to be in a playing conversation, which puts them in a tough position because they don't get a top spot in the draft. But it's hard because you can't really lose games on purpose anymore. And with the new lottery odds, you can still get a high pick, even though you choose to not want to be a great team for a high draft pick. It don't always benefit you anymore, which is unfortunate. But they want this product to be as healthy and as good as it can be, and not tanking is the best way to do that, and encouraging people not to make sense for that same reason. But Matas Buzelis is a nice, long, athletic body. He shows that he can hit perimeter shots. He can get to the paint. He can get out in transition and clear a lot of space and be able to finish. I think he's going to be a fun, interesting player to watch too, because him and Lonzo Ball is going to be crazy in transition, and seeing him in the corner, seeing him cut to the basket, and seeing Lonzo Ball consistently find him for easy open opportunities, and all he has to do is finish with that long athletic body. I think that's a match made in heaven for them on the Bulls roster. Same with Zach LaVine as their primary leader and their best player on the team. He's going to put in the work. He's going to put in some tough shots. He's going to put in some mid-range and some threes. He's going to create his own shot. He's going to be their closer now that they don't have DeMar DeRozan anymore. But I feel like he can still do some things that people will like to see. You look at Kobe White, another guy that can add some perimeter scoring. He can get hot from the field. He can turn up and go supernova sometimes. and he can knock down some threes for them. He can also get to the basket and get to the free throw line. So it's good to have a player like that. And he's only 24. People think Kobe White is older than that, but he's actually real young still, and he's showing you that he has the potential to be, a great scorer in this league, even better than what he has shown. Um, Dalen Terry, he's not going to play that much. He's not going to get that much opportunity, but he's just going to be happy to be on a roster and happy to contribute as much as he can and as much as they need him to. And I think that that's all you can really do in that position because you still made it to the NBA. You're still happy that you have an opportunity to play. You can have a chance to grow within the years and possibly get more playing time. You look at Nikola Vucevic, he's a big body. He has the post game to be able to hit the right hook. He has the ability to knock down mid ranges. He has the ability to knock down threes. He also can knock down free throws. So he's one of the best big men when it comes to touch and feel and understanding of the game. He just got a little older, and like he's not as fast, he's not as quick, he's not as intimidating anymore. And it's mainly just because he's just a little off mentally. And if he can get his jump shot going from the perimeter a little bit more, and he can punish mismatches on the opposite end of the court, which is offense, and be able to post up smaller players and shoot over them or get quality shots over them and still be able to knock down some jumpers. I think Vucevic can still be a great contributor for this team. But we have to see how that actually goes. Patrick Williams, another guy that they're trying to build with. He's athletic, he's long, he's lanky. He really has good speed to him. Being a double figure scorer last year is all that they can really ask for him to be. And he was able to accomplish that goal within, the minutes and the time frame that he was on the court. And I think that that's something that, he's going to continue to prove that he can do. And, using his length and his size as an advantage to get to the rim, to get out in transition, to make some free throws because he gets to the free throw line is another way to score besides shooting. Not the greatest shooter, not the greatest perimeter player, but most players aren't. But hopefully he can develop some type of shot in the corner or at the top of the key off ball. And I think that that'll help his team a lot, especially if they decide to start him. I think that'd be key, one thing that he'd need to work on. Jalen Smith, he's a big body too. He is a guy that has a shot that he can make. It's just opportunity wise. Is he gonna play? Is he gonna get an opportunity to make some type of difference? I like what he usually does. He showed that he can shoot threes if he gets a decent volume of them before. He rather just get layups and get dunks and finish at the rim. And I think that the coach is going to set him up so he can get those type of shots. He still is a decent free throw shooter. I like the fact that he can be a guy that can score double figures if you give him the right role and you put him around the right pieces. And I think he can still be a guy that can help you out. I like what I have seen out of him so far in his career. So I have nothing really negative to say about Jalen Smith, but continue to grow, continue to get better, and your role on teams is going to increase in the future. Julian Phillips, he's not going to play that much. He's not going to get that much opportunity because of the Patrick Williams, because of those type of guys that's on this roster. And then you look at the fact that Torrey Craig, he's going to come in and get 10 to 15 minutes, knock down some perimeter shots, cut to the basket, play some decent defense, and stay out the way for the other players on this roster. Ayo Dosunmu, he's one of their best defenders. He has been for a while, and I think that he was a reason why they wanted to get rid of Caruso because he's 24 years old. He averaging 12 points last year, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, and they feel like he can be a guy that can continue to grow in that role. He already was playing 29 minutes last year, shot 50% from the field, 40% from the three-point line, didn't attempt or take too many shots. He just took the shots in the spots where he needed to, and then he stayed out the way other than that. And that's the type of guy that can also score in transition because he likes to deflect or intercept a lot of passes that allows him to get a lot of layups and dunks, and he's great in transition. So I think that makes them a decent team offensively because of the defense that he applies, especially with Patrick Williams and Matas. Those guys want to prove themselves. Them guys want to play hard. Them guys want to be able to, build a reputation for themselves. Then you look at Javon Carter. a really, amazing defender, and a guy that can be pesky, and a guy that you have to pay attention to because he can make spot up shots from the corner at the top of the key in mid ranges, and he can get to the basket and put the ball on the floor if you close out too hard. He understands the game. He plays it the right way, and he's one of the best point guards that you can get as a backup or as a third string player. Just because he understands how to play the game, got a great feel for the game, and understanding how the game should be played. He's just a guy that can be a little less aggressive than you want. Sometimes you want him to take more shots than he actually does, but that just shows you how good of a player that he is, that you want him to do more. You want him to get more minutes just because he does make that much of a difference. And I feel like that's something that we have to give him credit for. Chris Duarte, he's a guy that's just going to be a guard that can just score at the 3-point shot, be able to handle the ball just a little bit. He's not going to be a crazy creator or crazy player offensively, but he is a guy that can make a difference and be a real rotation player for this team and still make an impact on the roster by scoring the basketball any type of way that the team needs him to. I think that gives them a lot more depth, and I think that this team is a 10 deep roster when you add in Taylor Horton Tucker and these guys that already proved that they're NBA caliber players. They're just not the greatest players at certain things, but if you put them in the right system and in the right, areas on the court, and they can take advantage of those opportunities, especially because you got Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine, who are attention magnets that really allows them to make the right play. If they see it, they can get easy opportunities and punish the opponent. And that's why I like this team being a playing caliber team. And then we talk about Josh Giddey, long, athletic, fast, quick, reads the offense real well, a decent defender, and a guy that can really finish at the rim, a guy that can make free throws at a clip where you have to respect him. And he's a guy that has upside, and, that's something that you need. And we don't really know how really good Josh Giddey is because he doesn't really have the best role, and he doesn't have the best, chemistry yet because he's going to a new roster. But we know that this guy is a guy that knows how to pass, rebound, and run an offense certain to the type of players that you have around him. He usually sacrifices his numbers to make the guys around him better or just to make the right play. And he's a guy that doesn't stick with the ball in his hands. He keeps the ball moving sometimes. And that's what you need, guys that can make plays, but guys that can make things happen, guys that can make players better, guys that can make guys' jobs easier. And I think that Josh Giddey definitely can do that. And another question would be, can he be a double-digit scorer for the Bulls, even though they have a lot of guards and a lot of forwards on this roster that they still trying out, they still love, they still want to see what they can contribute and do. I think Giddey can shine and show that he's one of the best ones that they have because he has shown it in the team that was the number one team in the Western Conference. And I think that he can bring that experience and bring them thoughts to a team that really needs something to be happy about, something to look forward to, something to push them to. And I think Josh Giddey could be that type of guy for this roster. Other than that, I feel like, if I had to be honest, this team is a play-in caliber team where they have enough young guys that they can prove that they can hang with anybody. They have enough guys that, you look at and you see can score, rebound, assist, and if they can figure out how to play together, which is the coach job and the assistant coach job, and put them in the right areas, giving them the right proper time, having the ball in their hand, giving them the right opportunities, this team can really, be really good. And I feel like the Bulls, they're a tough team to judge because they're supposed to be a terrible team. They're supposed to be a bad team, but they keep finding ways to collect and get so much talent that this team has so much upside even in the future. But since they play in the Eastern Conference and already got 8 teams that I feel like is better than the Bulls, and I feel like even though they lost DeMar DeRozan, they have gotten to a point where they needed to get rid of him to see what these young players can do and give them opportunities what they should have done. So they made the right decision. And the fact that Zach LaVine is not that old and he gets a chance to build up his value, gets a chance to build up his name a little bit more on a roster like this, It makes him more expandable just in case they want to build around Matas and Gideon. Those guys, they have an opportunity to still do that, and they can get a lot of run time and a lot of playing time on a team like this because they're getting rid of guys that they knew that they couldn't win possibly with, and now they're bringing in a new era of the Chicago Bulls faster than most people thought that they would. And some of these guys' contracts are coming to an end anyway, so they can always figure out another way to restart or go in that direction eventually as some of these contracts are getting ready to end. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for more analysis on this channel. And if you're new to the channel, check out my older videos. And if you've been part of this channel, you should still check out my older videos because it might be some content that you missed or you didn't watch or you wanted to see, but you was busy or you had other things that you wanted to do, and now you want to watch it because you have more free time, and I understand that. But thanks for liking, thanks for sharing, thanks for watching over the years, and still to this day, it helps the channel stay popping, it helps the channel stay popular, and it helps the channel stay, promoted well. And I think my fans have did the best job at doing that over the years and still to this day. So all I can say is thanks, and I appreciate it. And continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell so you can encourage other people to become a part of the channel, and they can see what makes this channel so great and so special is me and the fans being on the same page of the content that they want to see and the content they want me to do, and them enjoying it every time I put it out. I think that's the winning combination. Other than that, I'm gone.